Is there a better way to dive the Salt Pier? Maybe. That's what we're talking about in this video, and we're doing it right now. Hey folks, Kevin here on beautiful Bonaire with a quick video about the southern entry and exit point for diving the Salt Pier. Hopefully you've already watched our other video about the Salt Pier that we published a few years ago. That video has a lot more information. We cover the entire dive area and dive site for Salt Pier. Liz demonstrates entering and exiting the water for the northern part of the Salt Pier. But there is an extreme southern entry exit point. I'm going to cover that for you in this video. It's somewhat easier entry and exit point, especially obviously if you're going to dive the southern half of the Salt Pier. So let's head on down to the Salt Pier and I'll show you around that southern entry and exit point. Okay folks, let's take a look at the lay of the land here at the southern entry for Salt Pier. You can see the Salt Pier right there. But to kind of orient where this entry is, you can see the yellow building here. You can see the older ancient building right behind it. That is north. Also, the 60 km sign is right here, and that's, you're going to turn right before that, and you can see where I'm parked. Didn't really park the best. You can actually just pull straight down or back in or park anywhere around here. So there's plenty of parking even over here for the southern entry. But let's go take a look at that entry. Okay, so after gearing up and walking up, I'd absolutely recommend you use those walking sticks. Let's take a look at this entry. Just to slope down into the water, and it looks very simple and easy, and it is, but it's somewhat deceptive, I'll tell you that right now. Hopefully you can see there are a lot of rocks in here. At least the slope down is sand, or for the time being at least. But then you get to the water and you have a lot of rocks. Now these are not hard to navigate. You can see them clearly. Now there are days when it's churned up and you won't be able to see these, but today's a great day. You can walk right in, but be careful because it gets ruddy out there. And hopefully you can see that rocks keep going. Rocks keep going a good ways out before you can put your fins on. And it's misleading because there are ruts and it's easy to fall in this area. Now, it's nothing like entering up north. It is easier, but just be aware that you can fall. So definitely do use that walking stick. Get out where you can put your fins on and start swimming out to the pier. Now, the way Liz and I dive this site, once we get in and put our fins on, we surface swim out, and it's difficult to tell on video, but this is similar just like we do on the northern side. This first pier or platform that's in the middle is actually closer to shore than the Salt Pier. We surface swim to that, descend, and then underwater swim. We follow the pier extension out to the very end of the northern pier. There's some really good stuff to see down there. There's some debris. I often find more eels hidden in that. There's lots of good stuff to see as you swim out to the pier. Then we swim north till our turnaround point as far as air is concerned, swim back, come on back out to this platform. Then we swim underwater through the shallows back. So make sure when you get to this platform that's set in from the main pier that you take a good compass heading back to here. Because I'll tell you, you'd much rather get out here than anywhere else along. Because the entry along this part of the shore is just like it is on the northern side. So, take a good compass heading, spend some time into that platform, spend some time in and around in those shallower areas because there really is good stuff to see. But once again, I really think this entry is great if you're diving the southern part of the pier. If you want to dive the northern part, I mean, if you really want to get after it and swim really fast, You can cover the entire pier to the north, getting back, then getting back out on one tank. You're gonna miss everything. I mean, why would you do that? So I think if you wanna dive the southern half of the Salt Pier, this entry makes perfect sense. If you want to dive the northern half and even some of the piers down the middle, I really think the entry to the north that we covered in the other video is gonna be the better bet for you. But this entry is great. Don't forget to use the walking stick because there are a lot of rocks and ruts that you don't see, but you will feel, and they will throw you down if you let them. Well, folks, that's just about going to do it here for us at Salt Pier on the southern entry. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to go find Liz. We're going to gear up, get in, and I'll see you at the next dive site.